Dexter is one of those shows that pulls you in and keeps you hooked. It first came out in 2006 and is about Dexter Morgan, a guy who works with the Miami police analyzing blood spatter at crime scenes. But he has a dark secret. He's also a serial killer. The twist, he only hunts down other killers who have escaped justice. That's what makes the show so interesting. You're watching a murderer, but you're kind of rooting for him at the same time. In this video, we're going to rank some of the scariest and least scary characters from Dexter. We'll break down what makes them creepy, dangerous, or just completely harmless. If there's one villain from Dexter that really sticks with you, it's Arthur Mitchell, also known as the Trinity Killer. Arthur seems like a normal guy. He has a family, goes to church, and looks like a typical suburban dad. But underneath that, he's one of the most terrifying serial killers in the entire show. Arthur got his nickname, Trinity, because he follows a pattern when he kills. First, he drowns a woman in a bathtub. Then, he forces a mother to jump to her death. Finally, he beats a man to death with a hammer. He's been doing this for over 30 years, and somehow, no one has caught him. What makes him so scary isn't just the way he kills, it's how well he hides it. To the outside world, he seems completely normal, but in reality, he's a violent, controlling, and abusive man. When Dexter first meets Arthur, he actually looks up to him. He thinks Arthur has figured out how to balance being a killer with having a normal life. But the more Dexter gets to know him, the more he realizes that Arthur is pure evil. He doesn't just kill, he enjoys the pain he causes. He controls and terrifies his own family just as much as he does his victims. The worst moment comes when Arthur murders Rita, Dexter's wife. It's a shocking scene. Rita is found dead in a bathtub full of blood, while Dexter's baby son, Harrison, sits crying on the floor. The moment is horrifying and changes Dexter's life forever. Arthur Mitchell isn't just another bad guy. He's one of the most chilling and unforgettable villains in Dexter. Another one of Dexter's scariest villains is Brian Moser, also known as the Ice Truck Killer. Unlike some of the other killers in the show, Brian has a deeply personal connection to Dexter. He's actually Dexter's biological brother. Brian was separated from Dexter when they were kids after their mother was brutally murdered in front of them. While Dexter was adopted and raised by Harry Morgan, Brian was left to grow up on his own, bouncing between different institutions. Without a guiding hand like Harry to teach him how to control his dark urges, Brian fully embraced his need to kill. What makes Brian so creepy isn't just how he kills, but how he plays mind games. His signature style is draining his victims of blood and leaving their bodies in carefully arranged positions, like some kind of gruesome artwork. But what's even more disturbing is how he manipulates Dexter. He leaves clues for him, teasing him with hints about his past and drawing him in closer. When Dexter finally realizes who Brian really is, it's a huge shock. Brian doesn't just want to be close to Dexter, he wants Dexter to join him in killing. He sees Dexter as the only person who can truly understand him, and he tries to convince him to embrace his darkness completely. The most chilling moment comes when Brian kidnaps Dexter's adoptive sister Deborah and prepares to kill her. He wants Dexter to be the one to do it, forcing him to choose between his real family and the one he grew up with. In the end, Dexter kills Brian, choosing his adopted life over his biological brother. But Brian's presence lingers, proving that he was one of Dexter's most dangerous and personal enemies. One of the most chilling villains in Dexter, New Blood, is Kurt Caldwell. At first, he seems like a normal guy. He owns a truck stop, is friendly with the locals, and even helps out people in need. But just like Trinity and the Ice Truck Killer, Kurt has a horrifying secret. He's been murdering young women for years, trapping them in a sick ritual that he repeats over and over. Kurt's method is especially disturbing. He lures in runaway women, pretending to offer them food and shelter. He acts like a kind father figure, making them feel safe. But then, when they least expect it, he kills them, usually by shooting them while they try to escape. The worst part? He embalms their bodies and keeps them in a hidden room, treating them like trophies. What makes Kurt so terrifying is how well he hides his dark side. Most people in town trust him. He acts like a good guy, always ready to help someone out. But underneath that, he's completely twisted. He believes what he's doing is necessary, convincing himself that he's actually helping these girls by saving them from hard lives on the streets. Kurt becomes one of Dexter's biggest threats in New Blood when he starts to target Harrison, Dexter's son. He tries to manipulate Harrison just like he did with his victims, offering him comfort and guidance while slowly pulling him towards something much darker. In the end, Dexter puts a stop to him, but not before Kurt leaves his mark. His ability to hide in plain sight, his disturbing rituals, and his calm, collected nature make him one of the most frightening killers in the Dexter universe. Now let's switch gears and talk about one of the least scary characters in Dexter, Vince Masuka. Unlike the terrifying serial killers we've covered so far, Masuka is the complete opposite. He's Miami Metro's forensic expert, and while he's great at his job, he's mostly known for his inappropriate jokes and over-the-top personality. Masuka is always cracking dirty jokes, even in the middle of crime scenes. While some people find him hilarious, others just roll their eyes at his comments. But at the end of the day, he's harmless. He never does anything truly bad, and despite his awkwardness, he's actually a pretty loyal friend. Another reason Masuka is one of the least scary characters is that he has no dark side. In a show filled with killers, corrupt cops, and morally questionable people, Masuka is just a regular guy. Sure, he's weird, but he's not dangerous. He brings comic relief to the show, and in a world as dark as Dexter's, that's definitely needed. Another one of the least scary characters in Dexter is Angel Batista. Unlike most people in Dexter's world, Batista is genuinely a good guy. He's a homicide detective who actually cares about solving crimes for the right reasons, not for personal gain, and definitely not because he enjoys violence. What makes Batista so likable is his kind and easygoing personality. He's the kind of guy who treats everyone like family, always offering advice or support. Whether it's giving relationship advice or standing up for his friends, Batista is one of the few truly honest and loyal characters in the show. Even when things get messy at Miami Metro, Batista never lets it change him. While other cops bend the rules, Batista sticks to his morals. He might get frustrated or emotional at times, but he never crosses into the dark side like so many others do. In a show full of killers, liars, and corrupt people, Batista is a rare character who is just a genuinely good person. Rounding out the least scary characters in Dexter is Jamie Batista, Angel Batista's younger sister. She works as Harrison's nanny, stepping in to help Dexter take care of his son after Rita's death. Unlike many of the other characters in the show, Jamie isn't involved in crime, violence, or anything dark. She's just a normal person living her life. Jamie is caring, responsible, and full of energy. She genuinely cares about Harrison and does her best to give him a happy, stable childhood. She's also a good friend to Dexter, even though she has no idea about his secret life. Unlike most characters in Dexter, Jamie never gets pulled into any real danger. She's one of the few people in the show who represents normalcy, a life without murder, lies, or hidden agendas. In a way, she's a reminder of the life Dexter could have had if he wasn't consumed by his dark urges. Simply put, Jamie is one of the least threatening and most innocent characters in the entire series. Dexter is filled with a mix of terrifying and harmless characters, and that contrast is part of what makes the show so engaging. On one end, you have killers like Arthur Mitchell, who is known as the Trinity Killer, Brian Moser, also well known as the Ice Truck Killer, and Kurt Caldwell, who are cold, ruthless, and completely unpredictable. They hide in plain sight, manipulating those around them while committing brutal crimes. These characters bring the horror and suspense that make Dexter so gripping. On the other hand, you have people like Vince Masuka, Angel Batista, and Jamie Batista, who bring humor, warmth, and normalcy. They don't have dark secrets or violent tendencies. They just live their lives trying to do their jobs and help the people around them. This mix of fear and familiarity is what makes Dexter such a memorable show. The scariest characters keep you on edge, while the least scary ones remind you that not everyone in Dexter's world is hiding something sinister. What do you think? Who is the scariest or least scary character in Dexter? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.